Next article, website speed optimization tips and tools for 2024. 2024? It's an old one, huh? Old one. Ah, sorry. Well, let's see how relevant all of that still is, huh? By Elise Dobson on the Shopify website and blog. Well, it's old. Woo, I know, I know. Let's go through it still. Sometimes we learn from the past, don't we? And I'll be honest with you, most clients, most agency, and most of you, not just you, sorry, but like most what I see in the wild out there hasn't been doing the best practice of the last decade almost. So it's still helpful for everyone. Let's go into it. Slow loading websites leave money on the table. Here's how to optimize website speed to improve both performance and sales. And I've got a video about it on my channel. You should think why the optimal size of a website. Like what should be the size of your website? I think what was it? 14 KB? Let me see. What was my link? Yeah. Why your website? You can find it on my on my YouTube channel. Just type in why your website should be under 14 kilobyte in size. Yep. Just saying. It's a great video. Added the great video there. Where is it? I don't find it. Oh, yeah. Well, let's go on. Let's go on. Bigger. Internet users are more impatient than ever. Right, reading that sentence right after wasting time and letting you wait, huh? And rambling on. Some certain 70% of consumers admit that a slow-loading website impacts their willingness to buy from an online retailer, which means it's essential to strike a balance between providing beautiful, content-rich digital experiences and ensuring that they remain efficient. Faster site speeds also results in more sales. Our data found that improving your site speed by just half a second could increase conversions. Ahead, you learn the top tips and tools for improving website speed to drive sales. Great to hear it. Really important topic. And I'm going to be curious what they suggest. What is website speed optimization? Website speed optimization is the strategy behind improving your page load speed. Also known as website performance optimization, its goal is to make your e-commerce store load as quickly as possible before potential customers grow frustrated with their online experience and close their browser tab. There are two key metrics used to measure speed. First, contentful paint, which Google explains measures the time it takes your browser to render the first piece of DOM content after a user navigates to your page. What is the first piece of DOM content? You can see it like that. The first thing that's visible, okay? Just like that. It's the page that's visible, everything you can interact with and that you can see, that's a DOM page. No, technically, that's not the correct explanation, but it's good enough for those people who have no clue to understand what it is. Time to first byte, which measures the time it takes for the server hosting a website to respond to a user's browser. This is how fast is the internet connection, how fast does the server react. That's not the same as how long does it take for the website to show me something that is finished as a visual, so to speak. Why is speed optimization important? The faster your site, the better you'll be at capturing customers, including ones abandoning a slower competitor's site. Google recommends a page load speed of 2 seconds for an e-commerce site, but in general, the faster the better. A study from SEMrush found that bounce almost triples if your page takes longer than 3 seconds to load. If you're operating a store with an average order value of $60 and 5,000 visitors of $60 and 5,000 visitors each day, for example, a 1 second delay in site speed could be costing you $9,000 a day. Slow loading sites also negatively impact your searchability and SEO rank. Google, the world's largest search content engine, prioritizes sites with strong core web vitals, i.e. website performance in the search results. Plus, if you're investing in paid search as a custom acquisition channel, slow landing pages lower your Google Ads quality score, which means a higher cost per click. That's a costly problem in a time where custom acquisition and advertising costs are disproportionately increasing across most industries. Factors that affect website speed: e-commerce platform, hosting, site architecture, and excessive third-party apps. Your e-commerce platform. Your business needs an e-commerce platform that has the infrastructure in place to help load times. As a platform user, you should talk with your platform provider about improvements to your site's backend so that your websites load quickly for shoppers. Rendering is the process of creating a HTML markup when a user loads the page in their web browser. Your e-commerce infrastructure dictates the rendering process. Our storefront renderer, SFR, for example, is an application dedicated to serving storefront requests as fast as possible. In fact, Shopify stores are the fastest in the world. A little asterisk, because of course it depends on how it's loaded and everything. Loading 1.8 times faster than stores on other platforms. If your commerce platform isn't committed to making speed a top priority, then the rest of the, I want to see how they evaluate that. Then the rest of the suggestions that follow won't make as big of a difference. Knowing that 93% of brands on Shopify have a fast store more than any other major commerce platform, you can own your e-commerce site speed by working on the following items to further improve your website. So, where is it? Where is the result of who's how good? Huh? Shopify isn't mentioned. Why did they link that? We're going to go through that in more detail later on. Okay? Or is it Shopify.com? Well, let's go through it while it loads. While it loads, we go through it. Hosting. One of the big issues that I find many clients want to take the cheapest of the hosters, and then they have an awful connection. Your e-commerce hosting service and infrastructure can influence your e-commerce website performance, especially during high traffic and high transaction days. When researching hosting platforms requirements, look out for memory or bandwidth limits for scaling during seasonal promotions, projected traffic and peak user load to avoid crashes from a sudden spike in visitors. It's really bad if you have a whole campaign and everything set to one specific thing and you have like a seasonal Christmas special sales, blah blah blah, and then the page crashes because the hosting can't handle it. It's awful. You don't know. You paid for the creatives, you paid for the sometimes the social media, you paid for the paid ads, and then your site crashes. Awful how much that in costs and lost revenue can be for sometimes what $20 a month for the more expensive hosts. Sometimes people really try to save the money where it's really expensive. Yep. In addition, choose a platform that lets you avoid managing your own server. It depends. DTC retailers often have to spend a lot on IT infrastructure, and the costs have been steadily rising for years. We fully host all Shopify plans on our servers that are trusted by some of the biggest retailers in the world due to the speed and reliability. Of course, Shopify will tell you to use that. We can go into a deeper discussion of own server, rented server, or external. Before any major sales event, ask your commerce platform provider to help you prepare for unexpected traffic spikes or an influx of orders. Site outages are never easy to deal with, but they can be especially bad for a 5 billion company during its biggest sales season of the year. JB Hi-Fi's website was down for 2 hours during BFCM due to site issues. We have seen high-profile retailers' websites go down, says Chris Lang, JB Hi-Fi's general manager of engineering. The whole country knows about it. It's bad for customers and it's bad for the brand. We would do anything to avoid that. After replatforming to Shopify, JB Hi-Fi saw record-breaking sales thanks to nearly double the traffic online during Black Friday Cyber Monday, all without website performance issues. With our cloud-based infrastructure, Shopify has a 99.98 overall uptime, with a storefront that loads 2.97 times faster than other SaaS platforms. My mouse is hypersensitive today. Give me a moment. So, how much time is 99.98% of the year? Let's see. Just let me calculate it and see on the side. How much is 0.02% downtime in the year? So, that is 45 minutes. 1 hour and 45 minutes of downtime per year. Okay? Almost 2 hours a year that the page is down. Just saying. So you have a bit of, because they often say, oh, 99 point whatever percent, but it fails. People think, oh, that means it happens never. It doesn't mean it happens never. It means, okay, what is the value that I'm going to have to look at? Next, site architecture. E-commerce websites use a variety of architectures to present information to both users and browsers. This can get complex as you scale, says Javier Moreno, data science manager at Shopify. As brands grow and become more sophisticated, the websites become richer. This richness usually comes with a price. Unless you're actively paying attention to speed, changes will slow down your site. In a bid to improve site speeds, some businesses turn to headless commerce, a concept that detaches the front end of your e-commerce website from the back end platform that powers it. Retailers using our commerce components take this to the next level. They take the e-commerce technologies they need when they need them, instead of overloading a browser with too many coding snippets that negatively affect site speed. Performance issue scales as you grow. Infrastructure, asset size, code bloat, third party, page weight, configuration, architecture. Like you put in, oh, we need this too, and then we need this too, and then we need this too, and then we need this too, and this too, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and often it's never considered, do we really need to load all of that in this instance on this page or or at this time, and so, and you got all of the bloated code. I like that they consider it this way. Excessive third-party apps. If you have more than 20 e-commerce plugins installed on your store, you likely aren't using them all. Maybe you installed some as a trial, then forgot to remove them, but these apps are still running in the background, and they may be actively hurting your website performance. Enlist a developer to remove any unnecessary apps. Absolutely, also not just unnecessary apps, but also talk with people who might know, instead of loading 3 or 4 hyper specialized apps that are biting each other in a load of code, there might be a singular app that has more of the things you need built into it, and you need to load less code to achieve the same result. Good devs usually know that, because often it's like the same things over and over and over again that the clients need. Then run page, enlist the developer to remove any unnecessary apps. Then run page speed tests using tools like GTmetrix or Page Speed Insights, or even a manual test using Chrome's developer tools. Click the network tab and reload the page. Here a little tidbit. If you go into the developer tools, F12, go to network. Here you can fake throttling. You can see, like, you can do fast 4G, slow 4G, 3G, whatever you want. You can get custom values in there, just so you can see, if I had that kind of internet connection, how long would it take this page to load. Whenever you want to install a new app, ask yourself if the added value of this app will outweigh the possible slowdown of load speed. The majority of script CSS files for apps downloaded using the Shopify admin are injected into the head of your theme point liquid file within An app needs to be rendered before any other code is loaded. This means all of the stuff that you need, all the apps are loaded, the whole code and everything, before the first things are shown to be visible. That means when I click and I wait and wait and wait, it loads all of the apps before I get anything to see. Navigating this tension between faster loading versus the experiential and sales value of apps is why we async load scripts added with script tag API. So the page load isn't halted, says Jason Bauman, a solutions engineering team lead at Shopify. However, scripts added directly into the head often has an immediate impact on performance. Again, they're just talking about the Shopify way. For other pages, consider lazy loading. What does that mean? Like, first load the visual stuff that you absolutely need, and only later on load the stuff that, for example, is very far down the scrolling page. It doesn't need to be loaded immediately. First load everything that's important for the first area to be seen, like the hero section and so on. Lazy loading, important thing not done well enough by many. How to optimize your website speed. Use a content delivery network. Don't go overboard with theme adjustments. Enable quick view on category pages. 4. Remove unnecessary pop-ups. Ease up on homepage hero sliders. Compress, resize, and reduce images. Use slide embeds for video. Reduce redirects and broken links. Enable lazy loading. Unblock the browsers from parser blocking scripts. Organize tracking with Google Tag Manager. Beware of excessive liquid loops. Build accelerated mobile pages. Disable mobile video autoplay. Optimize the mobile checkout. Okay, now we're going through all of these points. Wow, okay, good article if it goes through the details. I like it. Respect. Usually it's just saying. Let's see how deep they go into the topics. Just let me check. Chat. Yes, chat, everything's fine. Good. Use a content delivery network, CDN. A content delivery network, a content distribution network, CDN, is a group of servers dispersed around the world. It distributes the content delivery load through the server closest to your web visitor's location, making local user experiences faster. Since more e-commerce sites are going global, a local CDN, or in the case of Shopify, dual CDNs, is a non-negotiable ingredient for platform performance. Especially if you're a worldwide brand. If you're just locally, it's a bit different. Like if I have a German brand or a French brand and I only deliver and sell to Germany or France, okay, then it's. But if you want to be global, absolutely important. Shopify offers a world-class CDN powered by Cloudflare at no extra cost. Yeah. In recent years, Shopify has significantly improved server speed by utilizing single domain hosting for static content. This enhanced browser performance with HTTP3 priorities and deployed intelligent lazy loading techniques for page elements. By consolidating hosting under a single domain instead of cdn.shopify.com, Shopify ensures faster loading times and better resource management. Chrome user experience CRUX data over the past year shows a 35% improvement in time to first byte for storefronts, enhancing user experience globally. These optimizations lead to quicker page renders and a more consistent shopping experience regardless of the user's location. A bit much of self advertisement for me in this article, but okay, let's give it to Shopify. Let's allow it. Okay. Overall, CDNs increase speed while reducing costs. Getting our license hosting in CDN from Shopify saved us about $100,000 per year right off the bat, says Red Dress Boutique owner Diana Harbour. Take visual content, often the cause of slow website performance. Shopify informs the CDN when your assets, e.g., images, JavaScript, and CSS, have changed. Do this with Shopify. Okay? That is like in depth how to do it, especially on Shopify. The link to the article will be below and in the chat if you want to go through it. I don't want to talk too specifically of Shopify. Don't go overboard with theme adjustments. A website's appearance makes or breaks a customer's likelihood of engaging with it. Studies show that first impressions are 94% design related. And these decisions happen in record speed. A website visitor's first impression is formed within 1/10 of a second. That said, there's a trade-off between site speed and a beautiful theme, the latter of which often comes with cluttered code and excessive graphics. You don't need a theme with all the bells and whistles, says Josh Stutt. You need one that is clean, fast, and easy to navigate. I've seen greater than 50% improvements in homepage bounce rate for new visitors simply by switching to a more streamlined theme. Okay. Nirav Sheth, CEO and founder of Anatta, says quick speed hacks will not build the foundation for long term performance. Only real speed improvements will, and that starts with optimizing your underlying theme architecture. Okay. 3. Enable quick view on category pages. Quick view pop-ups display a product directly from a product listings page rather than making you visit a product detail page. In theory, quick view should save your customers time, but it can actually impede a customer's experience on your e-commerce site. It adds an extra step to the customer's journey. It can be clicked on by accident, which is frustrating to the user. It can be mistaken for a product page, and most importantly, it can significantly slow down your page loading time. Quick view pop-up implementations, either built into a theme or from an app, can sometimes preload the information from an entire product page in case a visitor selects a quick view button. But that's an enormous amount of data to be loaded, especially on a collection page with 20 or 30 product thumbnails. Click mapping, a JavaScript based tool that tracks where users scroll or move their cursors to click on your site pages, can help you see whether your customers are even using Quick View. Some apps that help include Hindsight and Hotjar. Like here, you can see where they click. Find Quick View in Shopify. It should be easy to see if there's a click view button on your storefront product thumbnails. Check your theme customizer for an option to enable or disable this function. If you don't see this option in the theme customizer, check to see if it's coming from an app. If it is, it should be obvious how to remove it. No, no, no. I don't want to go into the depth of Shopify specifically options. If they don't have it, generally they're not. 4. Remove unnecessary pop-ups. Pop-ups exist to display special offers or entice people to take the next step in the customer journey, whether it's redeeming a coupon or entering the email address. It says pop-ups help engage first-time visitors and open the door to future communication. Stay hydrated. However, there's a fine art to e-commerce pop-ups. Too many flashy graphics can be detrimental to site speed and performance. Not to mention distract users from engaging with website content you've already optimized for conversions. Set parameter around your use of pop-ups to prevent site speed delays. For example, you could create pop-up triggers so that extra code doesn't contribute to a slow loading website. Display immediately upon page load, such as exit intent or time delay pop-ups. Both of these triggers give some breathing room between initial page load and pop-up load. Again, kind of lazy load. Only, for example, if you load the pop-up 10 seconds after someone visits a website, then you don't need to load all the code immediately. You have ample time to load it later on. Okay? And do that. Ease up on homepage hero sliders. Huge slideshows with multiple hero images are great for showing off your product. Unfortunately, there's a downside. The size and quality required for a hero slider to look good can increase load times, especially if you have 4 to 5 slides. Cut down the number of homepage slides or eliminate them completely. A single high quality, well thought out hero image with a clear call to action helps draw your customers in quickly because the brain processes visual imagery 60,000 times faster than it processes text. If you must use a slider, follow UX best practices such as stick with 2 to 3 slides, display the slides as static content sections rather than auto-rotating carousels, and 3. Use source set or lazy load as a catch-all. Chubbies, for example, uses optimized images in lieu of a traditional homepage hero slider. Co-founder Tom Montgomery says, "We've been with Shopify from day one. None of us are engineers, so it's great to be able to rely on Shopify's experts so we can focus on innovating. Let me see their page. Huh? Oh, wrong. Okay, it's a case study. It's a case study text. I wanted the link to Chubby's. No link. Well, they don't want you to leave Shopify. Let's go through it. 6. Compress, resize, and reduce images. Images account for somewhere between 50% to 75% of your web page's total weight. This can be a greater problem as your e-commerce website scales. The more products you sell, the more image files you have on your server. Each image you use on a page creates a new HTTP request. While streamlining page speed, trimming images helps you do say more with less. Alex Mercian, marketing manager for 8vape, says, when you're constantly creating content through blog posts or creating many products a day, you tend to just add images to the website without thinking. Compressing images can help a lot when you have thousands of images on the site. You can minimize image size without reducing quality with lossless compression with tools like TinyJPEG or TinyPNG. Also, watch out for empty image sources. Image source like this in your code. What is going on with my mouse? Because of the big. Yeah, I understand it. Oh, okay. Also, watch out for empty image. OBS Studio is back. Great. Also, watch out for empty image sources. These cause an excess burden on the browser by sending yet another request to your service. A simple solution is CSS sprites, which consolidate multiple images like icons into one, limiting the server's number of individual image requests. It also improves your page. Shopify's built-in image size parameter let you download the smallest possible image while retaining the quality. It asks Shopify for the exact image size that's going to be displayed. Then it cuts down the file size downloaded from the CDN and reduces the required browser side scaling. One of our clients had a slow loading site, so we started by optimizing the images, says Maria Harutyunyan, co-founder of Lupix Digital. We made them smaller and compressed them, which made a huge difference in how fast the pages load. In fact, the images now take up 60% less space and load much faster. A little something. FeysMedia T, you can go to page insight. Just Google it, you will find it. Like web dev page speed insights. I've got the little how do you call it? And now I forgot the English name. I forgot every name for it. Add-on for the browser, but you can go to the page like this. Okay. And my internet is extremely slow. Wow. And here you can type in your website just to get whatever results you want. Okay. Let's analyze mine and see, and let me be absolutely, how do you say it, ashamed on the internet live because the values are not that great. But I want to show you what I mean. Now, while it analyzes, we go through the next thing. Use light embeds for video. Video is quickly becoming the language of the internet. Some 91% of companies use video as a marketing tool, but depending on how they are embedded on your site, they can cause big differences in load time. Not only does the standard embed code from YouTube make your site bloated, as some files are downloaded even before the visitor has clicked the play button, it uses the iframe tag where the width and height of the video player are fixed. Your video doesn't adjust to the screen size of different devices. The solution is light embeds, which loads the videos directly on your web page. When the page initially loads, the site only embeds the thumbnail image of the YouTube video. The video player itself and all its extra JavaScript only loads when the user clicks inside the thumbnail. YouTube thumbnails are about 50 kilobytes, so light embeds can reduce the size of web pages by almost a megabyte. And a megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, for those who want to know. It's analyzing still. 8. Reduce redirects and broken links. Too many redirects and broken links can negatively impact performance and harm your SEO rankings. Do some house cleaning on your redirects. For example, 302 redirects, which indicate a page has been moved temporarily, can hurt your SEO. They also trigger additional HTTP requests and delay data transfer. Instead, use a cacheable redirect or Shopify's built-in redirects function, which are 301s by default within your navigation panel. And remember, never redirect URLs to pages that are themselves redirects. Also, difference between 302 and 301. Quick. 302 tells the bots and whatever and the server and let's say Google, for example, is, hey, this is just moved for a while. It will be moving back to the original page soon enough. 301 is, this will never ever be back on this page. We want it forever to be at this new address. Okay, these things are being treated a bit differently. I've got a video on my channel about this in depth with the technical stuff, what all of these codes mean. Broken links for page elements like images, CSS, and JS files increase HTTP requests and sting your site speed. Use a tool like Broken Link Checker to remove them. Creating custom 404 error pages will assist visitors who accidentally enter an incorrect URL for your site. Like this. And then you get custom page that properly keeps them, not just some random 404 page. Yeah, they land on a broken link and they still go to the women's or men's clothing. So it's like the biggest stuff. Enable lazy loading. There we go. Still not. Do we have it now? Nope. Yeah, as you can see, Lastung, I've got it in German. Very bad. Way, way awful. This is awful. I'm working on the design right now. Absolutely awful page speed. This is what you want to get better. Okay? And usually, if you go to Page Speed Insights, you will get a nice list of things that you can even do. It's a nice little list of stuff. Hey, we should be doing X, Y, Z. Okay? Use that. Go to your dev and say, hey, these are issues we want to have solved. Enable lazy loading. Also, why did I share my page? Because I want you also to know, like, it's not immediately that someone is bad at their job or that you can't trust an agency just because they don't have the perfect values. It depends. Like, some pages are, I don't have an e-commerce page. For me, it's like, I prefer to have a slower loading page with 2, 3, 4 seconds of showing, hey, we're loading stuff, because it has to be more creative. I'm a marketing agency. I want people to see, oh, that looks cool, you know? 9. Enable lazy loading. Lazy loading is a technique that prevents all content from immediately being loaded on a web page. E-commerce sites that use lazy loading only display content when users hit certain triggers. We can see lazy loading in action when a user visits your e-commerce product page. Only content visible above the fold appears immediately upon arrival, such as the item's title, imagery, and product description. Supporting content appears when users scroll beneath this section. User-generated content, social media carousels, and customer reviews are all loaded lazily to prevent the code overwhelming the server with too much information immediately upon loading. GoGoChimp's Chris McCarron used this page speed optimization strategy for a client's e-commerce store. There were a staggering amount of images below the fold on every web page. The problem with this is that a web browser will simultaneously download every image on a web page, regardless of which images are visible. However, lazy load only downloads an image when it can be viewed within the browser. Okay? Oh! Why is my stream suddenly not working? Uh-huh. What about the other? I am lost in one of the... Sorry, just realized that I'm lost in one of the platforms. Weird. Really, really, really weird. Why? Why is that? I'll have to check that out later on. So, where am I? Unblock the browser from parser blocking scripts. Before a browser can display a page to your customer, it has to go through a process called parsing the HTML. But parser blocking scripts interrupt this process. When a browser encounters a parser blocking script, it has to stop everything and focus only on running that script before it can continue doing anything else. Okay? Fortunately, there's an easy fix, and all it takes is the async or defer attribute. Parser blocking script source, for example, jQuery.js script, not parser blocking script, jQuery.js defer script. It's worth noting that JavaScript itself does not block browsers. It's how JavaScript is loaded that determines whether or not it blocks the browser. After making these changes to your code, check to make sure your website is still offering the same desired experience. Because sometimes one script will need the other to work, or it needs some other stuff. So it's important to know, does this need to be loaded completely before I can do the next thing? Organized tracking with Google Tag Manager. Customer data fuels your e-commerce and digital marketing strategies, but collecting that data can also slow down your website performance. All those JavaScript tracking tags, e.g. for general analytics, conversions, goals, and behavior retargeting, are often to blame. Customer data collection can also be a time and resources burden for your developer, IT, or marketing teams. A tag management system, TMS, like Google Tag Manager, condenses all your tags into one JavaScript request. If a tag failure causes your website to go down, having a TMS also helps you remove the tag quickly. Nirav Shet adds that when Anata was optimizing the website speed of an e-commerce site in the beauty space, what moved the needle for site speed more than anything else is the combination of leveraging Shopify's APIs and cleaning up Google Tag Manager. One snippet of code is all you need to manage your Shopify store tags in one place with Google Tag Manager. To learn more, refer to guidelines in the Shopify Help Center. 12. Beware of excessive liquid loops. Liquid is a, give me a second. I can't. Okay, interesting. Beware of excessive liquid loops. Liquid is a powerful Shopify coding language. Okay, this is just for, but there are certain cases when you need to weigh the added benefits versus the trade-offs. For loop iterations is one of those. For loop means the system has to loop, e.g. crawl or search through all the products in a collection that happens when it's looking for a specific condition, e.g. price or a tag. These features can be beneficial in certain cases, like outputting images or product variants. They're also helpful when you have a smaller number of products on a collection page, but be wary of the impact on load times. Review your theme code to make sure you aren't running liquid for loops multiple times looking for the same information. This can happen when multiple developers work on a theme and may duplicate tasks or introduce conflicting code. Removing these duplications will make your page load faster. It's often easier to use a simple product.options with values loop. Review the documentation to understand how our templating language and liquid loops work. 13. Build accelerated mobile pages. Accelerated mobile pages is a Google sponsored project that reformats website content for mobile devices. On sites with AMP enabled, Google caches each page and reloads it each time a user visits from search. This reduces page load times, resulting in a 2 times increase in time spent on page and 20% increase in conversions compared to non-AMP pages. Implement AMP on your e-commerce store with Shopify apps like AMP, FireAMP, the EMP app. Each eliminates complex code from cluttering your mobile website to load pages quickly. AMP, gotta look into that in more detail. 14. Disable mobile video autoplay. Not all mobile internet users are browsing your e-commerce website with a strong network connection. Perhaps there are an Allbirds customer scanning the retailer's website mid-hike when the shoes they're wearing are falling apart, or they're a Firebelly tea customer ordering the next box of tea bags while waiting in the parking lot for the children to finish school. Just so you know, I recently read the study. 1 in 5 users is still on a phone with equivalent of 3G internet. Just so you know, so 20%. Either way, These people might engage with the videos retailers use to communicate with the potential customers on the mobile side. But automatically playing these videos can cause serious lags in site speed. The mobile network connection needs to download a large file when the video is set to autoplay. When that's replaced with a static thumbnail, an optional button to trigger the video, the full size file doesn't need to be loaded through a weak internet connection. Visitors get the first meaningful view in record time. 15. Optimize the mobile checkout. The checkout process is often forgotten about when making improvements to mobile site speed. Home, product, and category pages get the most attention, largely because you don't want potential customers to fall at the first hurdle, the initial mobile interaction with your store. Failing to include the checkout process in your website speed optimization strategy will likely result in a higher cart abandonment rate. People are confident enough to hand select items they want to buy, but if they're greeted with delays at the checkout, they need to really love the product in the cart to stick around. Or in other words, you risk losing the impulse shoppers. ShopPay empowers mobile shoppers to blast through checkout at record speed according to da 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 da. Okay, there's a specific one. Yeah. ShopPay, important for everyone. It's not. Each of these steps need to be optimized. Website speed testing tool. Each speed testing tool uses a different scoring method, much like every team will have a different definition of good site speed. Tools that provide page load timing have to select one specific time marker, like TTFB, in their results. Use these speed tests to guide your decision making, but keep an open mind. You must balance your site speed with building a user interface that optimizes your customer's journey. Shopify's web performance dashboard. Yep, yep, yeah. Shopify site speed audit. Just I'll name a few of them so you know. Google page speed insights, as you've seen. GT metrics gives your website a grade on speed from A to F. Can you see? Pingdom will score your website performance ranging from 0 to 100. It also has a useful waterfall analysis features that help you identify other major problem areas. This line-by-line scoring is a useful reference tool. So you see when is what loaded. Optimize your website speed and watch your conversion soar. It's important to get buy-in from your team to invest time and resources to optimize your website performance and speed. This data and tools we've shared can help you build a case. Okay. It was a nice one. Yeah, I like this article. It was good. That was a good article. Pretty in depth. A bit too much about Shopify, gonna admit. You will see a lot of different things. Like for example, if you have WooCommerce or use let's say WordPress, screen through the plugins. Do you need the plugins all accessible, address in every page? Does it need to be loaded? Also, if you use something else, do you have CSS code that is not needed on these pages? For example, like if you use a framework like Admin LTE or Bootstrap or whatever, if you use TypeScript, so many other things. Go through the files also with frameworks, all kind of frameworks and libraries. Go through the files and really check out what is loaded and what not. You don't need to have 500 lines of code still in these files being loaded, even though your website does not use it a single time anywhere. The class is not loaded, the script is never used, and so on. But it still loads it just to have it in cage. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? With that, I think the page was good. I should write it down. I'll do a deep dive into page speed optimization. I like that. We'll do that together. If you like it, tell me in the comments. Page optimization for speed, just for speed. Okay. Consider, if you like what I do, if you enjoy me going through these articles, giving you extra information, giving you a bit of my experience and everything, consider supporting this channel. Give me a like, give me a nice comment, or subscribe or follow the channel. It's 1 or 2 clicks for you. It means so tremendously much for me, and it gives me a clear sign that you want me to keep doing these kind of things. And with that, I'll be jumping right over to the next article. Thank you all.